as always, I am a Red Joker enjoyer. In the midst of Genshin voice actors being fired because they're shit and no one cares, and there being like a whole strike thing, Japanese VAs are still cracked, and they don't really have to worry as much about people taking their job because they're actually talented at it. Maybe it'll be a problem later, but it's certainly not a problem now. SAG-AFTRA. Anyway, Red Joker it is.
On October 15th, 2024, a campaign called No More Unauthorized Generated AI was made by 26 of the most influential Japanese voice actors, calling for the halt of unauthorized AI usage of their voices for personal benefit. This was brought upon by the many videos, covers, and memes online made through an AI that replicates the voices of famous voice actors. While usage of AI like this is not explicitly illegal under any AI law, since then, the economy minister has very quickly responded, publicly warning that unauthorized use of a voice actor's voice could fall in the Unfair Competition Prevention Act,
Wow, Japan's going hard with it.
resulting in a maximum of 5 years in prison and a 5 million yen fine. As opposed to places like America or the EU, Japan still doesn't have laws directly against AI cloning of voices. But despite this, I believe that even more than any other country, Japan's voice acting industry will never be replaced by AI. Here is why. The first and biggest reason is Japan currently—
Well, before we get to the video, I think there's a couple of reasons. One, people actually like the voice actors in Japan. Like, people want to go to voice actor events. They want to go meet the voice actor. They want to go to concerts. They want to see idol units. They want to see merch of the voice actor. And then also they're talented, right? There's also that.
has the most mature voice acting industry in the world, and by a long shot. Voice actors are not just people voicing characters, they're practically celebrities. They host radios, they hold events for the anime they're part of. Hell, the big ones appear on national TV. They have fans. No, not fans of the anime character, fans of the voice actors. So many that lots of them start their entire—
There are definitely there are definitely cases in the West, but it's way smaller, right? Like, a recent example, Ben Starr did the voice of Clive, did the voice of Kazan, I'm blanking on another. Oh, did the voice of Verso in Expedition 33. But like, for a lot of English voices, people don't really care. It's not, and it's definitely not to the same extent that happens in Japan.
Solo career as artists, as models, as VTubers, whatever they want to be. Many have a whole brand, which is the whole reason I'm able to make the Seiyu series in the first place. Japan has hundreds of schools to train voice actors for years. It's a legitimate career path many kids look at with sparkles in their eyes. They don't go to acting school, they go to voice acting school. It is an extremely professional industry that has garnered respect over the past decades. This is a far cry from most other countries where the whole industry is less established. You'll see the same 10 names everywhere, and voice acting is almost just a hobby. Yeah,
that is something that really annoyed me early in watching anime. It's just like, especially in like the early 2000s, it was really bad in the West where there legitimately were like fucking 20 people that did every single character.
Where even the bigger voice actors will essentially need to do something like streaming to earn a somewhat reliable income. Replicating a voice with AI is easy today and will only get easier in the future, but how do you get AI to replace a voice actor attending an anime event, radio shows? Who's gonna be the one talking on TV? Hell, how do you replicate their clout? For a lot of anime, especially lower budget ones, a bunch of the budget goes to getting top tier voice actors because just having a Hanazawa Kana, Takahashi Rie, or Kaji Yuki name next to your anime boosts its popularity by quite a lot. A much needed boost for lesser known shows. AI can easily do the voice part, but I just can't see how it can do the other 80% of work, importance, and reputation tied to being a voice actor in Japan. Besides, since voice actors are, again, practically celebrities in Japan, many of them
Who's that guy that voices English All Might? He voices almost in almost everything. Johnny Young Bosch, is that who you're thinking of? I don't know if he did All Might's voice, but yes, he did a lot of voices.
Have their share of hardcore fans that will support their favorite seiyuu through hell and beyond. So at the very least, there is a legitimate demand for the voice actors themselves, with fans willing to throw money. So it's hard to imagine them just being wiped by AI like that, when they themselves have legitimate value through just their name and them being themselves. The next point is copyright. Now, as you may know, the main problem with taking someone's voice and using it through AI is copyright. It steals the voice of the voice actor, and since it is their voice, that's not okay. As you also may know, Japan is a bitch when it comes to copyright.
Why is r/Asmongold right here? Oh man. Windows on Linux on Brodie on... What the fuck are you writing? What the fuck are you putting in my chat?
Right. Seriously, Japan is literally notorious for having some of the strictest, honestly, to a dystopian level of copyright laws in the world. They don't have fair use clauses. I mean, do you remember that time a few students who ran a movie summary channel on YouTube in Japan got arrested because of copyright infringement on YouTube, and that they could be facing up to 10 years in prison because they made movie reviews on YouTube?
Jesus!
10 fucking years for movie reviews. What? Or how about Nintendo trying to take down every ROM hack, every mod that exists online? Oh, by the way, modding games in Japan is illegal. I'm serious. Also, remember...
Yeah, that's why there was that whole drama with Peckwater, where she bought, was it a bunch of copies of Emerald? Yeah, I think it was a bunch of copies of Emerald looking for... Wasn't it like the Mew ticket or something? And she ended up finding it on one, and it was like a modded copy of the game. Yeah. Hacked save file, yeah. And then there was like this big drama. People were trying to like get her banned. They were like calling Nintendo to like try to do something about her. And they were just like, we don't care, just take down the VOD, it's okay.
Back then, when Nintendo had some partner program where they'd require creators on YouTube to register and give them almost half the revenue if creators wanted to make content on their games. And just go around some AniTubers and ask how many of them have faced copyright issues when uploading. Japan's copyright law is brutal. And not just law, culture, like people actually think like that. The Japanese government has already officially stated that they will start sorting out legal matters regarding generative AI, and I really wouldn't be surprised if people start getting arrested over this. Japan takes their copyright very seriously. So as the biggest in the world, knowing how important voice acting is culturally to Japan, I just can't see them letting AI voice acting fly by. They won't even let us add mods to Smash Bros. Speaking of culture, as Japan does have the largest voice acting industry in the world, this has become a point of pride to them and has bled into their culture. Understandably, voice acting is
I do wonder how much of their GDP is actually tied up in anime and tied up in their voice acting industry. I would imagine it's probably a substantial amount.
Huge part of the anime viewing experience, and anime just wouldn't be anime without them. They are quite literally the voice and the soul of the character they act. This has led to voice acting being a very prized, looked up upon thing in Japan. Now, I'm not going to make the argument that AI can't replicate the emotions behind the voice acting, so it will never be good and such, because even if it can't today, it could very well in a few years do a crazy good mental breakdown replication that's indistinguishable from a human performance.
In before Eno battle clip.
You never know.
Okay, he's not gonna play this. Not this time.
AI keeps improving, but what makes me think it'll never take over, even if it does become that good, is the cultural aspect of it. I mean, voice actors are called onto national TV to reenact famous scenes in anime live. Japan is the place that really cares about the soul behind the voice acting performance. More so than any other country in the world, I would argue. Just because of how proud the industry is of
the
some
Amelia
of the most
scene.
insane performances ever. Online, you still hear people talk about the performance behind Eren's scream, Light Yagami's laugh, Itadori's mental breakdown, Hayamin's 2-minute gem to this very day, and these are cultural icons in the worldwide
I had to
anime
be here
community.
somewhere.
Obviously, I can't speak for every single person, but due to Japan's entire branding with insane voice acting, I just can't see how the
every time I see that scene, I get chills. Like, it's such a fucking legendary scene.
Japanese industry and even audience would be able to accept an AI replacement of their favorite celebrities when anime is one of their most prideful and influential exports. So even if some official anime things get AI'd, I just don't see it going very far or really crunching in and becoming a prominent.
I do think it's very possible to see art go AI. I think that's a lot more likely. Like, there's not as much. Like, yes, there are the legendary directors and legendary animators, but it's nowhere near to the same extent as the voice actors, right? Like, the voice actors, you'll see constant events for. Like, what is it? What's the Bocce radio? Is it just Bocce the Rock Radio? Or Bocce the Radio? What's the radio show for Bocce? And it just continued, like, 2 years after the fucking anime ended? Right? Like, it's... People still love that, even though the series just isn't there. And, like, directors and animators don't have that same sort of general appeal.
Replacement for voice acting. This is especially because if we really want to go down the AI route, it's already a work in progress. Recently, voice actor Kaji Yuki, best known for voicing Eren Yeager, started the AI voice project.
And lots of other very angry boys.
Soyogi Fractal. He had a team create a virtual character called Bon Soyogi, voiced by an AI model trained on his very own voice. The app provides 2 different modes, song voice and talk voice, both very self-explanatory. You can even adjust the personality and even the tone and emotions he speaks with, like cool or whispering. Essentially, you can custom create a husbando voiced by Kaji Yuki. There's even a sleep together and alarm feature. What I'm trying to say here is, many people, understandably, hate on Gen AI for a multitude of reasons, but whether we like it or not, the technology has already been created and is here to stay. So I think something like what Kaji Yuki is doing is the absolute best way for the industry to coexist with AI, not as a weapon to take voice actors' jobs, but as something that can create extra content by voice actors themselves, making them even more money through a tool used with their authorization to expand the industry in a different way.
So it's creating a new field rather than taking over an existing one. I can see that. Okay.
The very model of this project is quite interesting as well. The project has held official contests to see who can make the best talking and singing creation through this Kaji Yuki AI. You're essentially allowed to make anything you want to as long as it's within the guidelines. And you're even allowed to monetize videos with it on platforms like YouTube. The point here is, this project here is a fantastic demonstration of how AI can be used in a way beneficial to both the voice actors and the fans.
Any of the one for female seiyus are gonna be absolutely fucking cooked in a day. If they don't have the correct barriers up, like, it's gonna get wild.
And get voices of their favorite voice actors to play with. Voice actors make an extra buck, and if all goes well, anime and games will still continue to be voiced by—
To be fair, the Fujoshi are also kind of cooked as well, so I guess the male ones probably can get pretty bad. Prime at the same conclusion with AI. Did not take away jobs. It made new ones with higher pay. The problem that we're seeing is we are seeing a lot of entry-level programming jobs taken away from AI. Like, that's sort of the problem. Yes, you can create a higher top end, but if the floor gets removed as well, you have a serious problem.
our favorite voice actors, giving us the incredible, soul-filled voices we know and love. I think what Kajiyuki has started here is fantastic, and could be a taste for a positive future to how AI can be used ethically in the voice acting industry. The project is continuing to grow today with future expansions like a full game and multi-language options announced. And if this comes to succeed, I can see other voice actors continuing to follow suit and do something similar with AI. Kajiyuki's project is only the beginning of it as well. Recently, a new establishment called Elias has been developed in Japan to build a fair AI voice trade system. Essentially, the voice data that the AI trains from is certified and registered from the voice actors. Elias then holds this AI and issues certification labels to services who want to use the AI. The idea behind this is that the voice actors are properly compensated for their work. Certification behind the AI allows for easier tracking of how voices of voice actors are being used for regulation, and the entire situation of whether something is AI or not is transparent. This is a huge project being developed by a collaboration between the entertainment and AI worlds, and has already been approved by the Japan Actors Union, with many voice actors already projected to register. As I said, voice acting is a very important part of Japan culturally, so it's
very interesting how differently this is being treated in the West versus in Japan. In the West, like, voice acting is kinda... How do I say it? It's kind of like a bottom tier industry, right? Like a lot of voice, even like voice actors for like big name games and big name series, a lot of them are also working another job and are fucking terrified of AI. And I think a big part of the reason why they're terrified is no one really cares about them, right? And I think this is like a good thing that we're seeing from, again, I'm going back to the example of Ben Starr, where people care about Ben Starr as a person now. And who's the guy that did Jinwoo in the English dub for Solo Leveling? Whether or not you like the dub or not isn't really important, but he's like trying to become a persona online as well. Yeah, Alex Lee, yeah. He's like trying to like, not sister. No, that's let's see. Is this like
a rise scene?
Oh no, yeah. I know about this one.
Like he's having like doing things like this.
So I actually had a lot of ideas I wanted to.
Where is it?
Run by you. So
Where the
price me
Sure.
Where'd it go?
Go for it.
Where'd it go?
Wakey.
We are not doing that.
Where do we like wise?
What?
Where did the fucking browser window go?
No, I got a few more. I got a few more.
Right.
Oh, here it is.
Red.
Ew!
Give me a second.
Did
Huh?
Did you just change shirts?
No.
Okay, whatever. Just say the word.
Rise!
Not so loud.
I said
Smaller.
And this is what I'm saying, right? Like, voice actors in the West are trying to do that same sort of thing where people actually care about them outside of just the character they voice. And I think that's going to create it's going to make it a lot harder to replace them in the same way, like is the case in Japan. Sort of trying to create that same sort of industry. What is this? Alex Lee from the streets. I know Alex because of Street Fighter, he's a shit poster. Ah, okay.
Hey there, everybody. This is Luke from Streets. Did you know my favorite things are jumping into a drive impact, stale bread, ice without any water, the newest season of Family Guy, and sand. See you in Street Fighter 6, everybody.
Okay, sure. And I guess it's kind of the same thing with, like, YouTubers also. It's like YouTubers becoming voice actors. Like, Lily Pichu is a great example. I guess she's a Twitch streamer, right? Like, people know about her. Like, even if you were to AI her voice, people like Lily Pichu separate from like just the character that she has voiced.
Japan that normally takes a billion years to get anything done would swiftly move to the new generation of AI to protect its voice actors. It really is important to them, and with projects like these at hand, I, at the very least, have faith that voice actors in Japan won't lose their jobs.
Now, not every YouTuber who becomes a voice actor is good. The English dub for the Kiryu. English Kiryu. Not the original one, the Youngye. The Youngye version is rough.
To AI. What's better is, as a business model, they have already long had Vocaloid, a part of the music industry that has created some of the biggest Japanese songs to date. In case you're not familiar with Vocaloid, it is basically a singing voice synthesis technology that uses voice banks constructed by voice actors or singers who have given their consent to create whatever song you want, adjusting parameters such as pitch, tone, and vibrato as if playing a musical instrument. In a way, Vocaloid isn't that different from AI voice cloning, but no one hates it. It's loved worldwide. Why? Because Vocaloid is used as a tool rather than a replacement to make and enhance creative ideas. All the synthesized voices have the permission of the original voice owner. They're being properly compensated, and no one is losing their jobs being replaced by Vocaloid. Quite the contrary, actually. Vocaloid has become a huge part of Japan's music culture. I mean, I think you'd be pretty hard-pressed to find a person in Japan who hasn't at least heard of Hatsune Miku. Looking at Kaji Yuki and Elias's project, I see the similarities between them and Vocaloid. The licensing, the voice banks, much of it. If we're looking at the future positively, I can easily see AI voice cloning going down a similar route, creating its own niche and giving voice actors another great way to monetize their work. It is a fantastic...
No, he's not saying that Miku is AI. Saying that Miku is the same sort of... creating that same sort of, I guess... new way to create something that is not replacing anything. Obviously, Miku's not AI.
way to adapt to something that could be catastrophic and turn it positive. Vocaloid has been around for about 2 entire decades now, and even Hatsune Miku is nearing her 20th birthday. So I think there should be a very clear business model that the voice acting industry can follow as reference. It has already been demonstrated to work, and I truly hope and believe that we can make something like this work again, while helping rather than harming the voice actors so many look up to. I can't speak for every single country, as I don't know much about some of their voice acting scenes, but with all these reasons combined, I just cannot see AI taking over the voice acting industry in Japan specifically. I understand why there are concerns, even from the voice actors themselves, and as a huge Seiyu fan, perhaps I am biased in the more positive way. Perhaps I am being naive with the situation, but I believe that with all these reasons, voice acting can definitely find a new way to thrive with AI. That's just my opinion though. What do you guys think? Please do tell me in the comments, and do tell me if you like this kind of content compared to the usual documentary style. Well, that's it from me. See you guys next time. Bye bye. Special thanks to
as always, great Red Joker video. Mozilla freaking lost it. I made a video on that. It's not out just yet, but it will be coming out soon. Soon TM. I don't know, maybe tomorrow, we'll see. So they actually didn't, so okay. TLDR, they didn't actually remove any AI. What they've done is they've merged it into Firefox. It's becoming an official part of Firefox. They're not removing anything. They're just killing Orbit. They already have a built-in AI chatbot, and AI summarizations being added directly into Firefox.